Up YouTube. So in this video today, I want to have a chat with you about how do you measure success in your business. Now, I was talking to Reese about this, and I've been talking to myself about this, thinking about it, thinking, well, how do I measure success within my business? And there's only one I used to look at it as one way, but this April I took less money this April than I did last April, and normally for me April's a very good month, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I should be taking more. It's only a couple £100 less than last April, but I still think to myself, why? And then thinking about why it was that I didn't, and then thinking about, well, does it matter? Well, of course it matters. You want to be earning more every year if you can, because it keeps line with inflation. But what happens if, say, you were in a position where you start your business or you run your business for a couple of years, and so last year that was the year after I'd been poorly and had all that time off, and I thought I went about it in a way that I wanted to catch up. I wanted to get ahead. It's not prove myself, but I wanted to make the business a success. I wanted to basically get back on an even footing and earn, good money. And I did, but it meant that I was working a lot. I was working 7 days, and I was also working for people that I didn't want to work for. But I did it, and I had a bumper year. And that's the same with you guys. What happens if, say, you're working somewhere and you take on a huge contract and it's really, really, really financially rewarding, but you hate it to the core? Or you say if you take on a job, the lady says, right, I need 2 days a week and it's good money. And so you end up earning a lot, but you absolutely hate it in the process. And you say to yourself, right, I'm not doing that next year. Or they get rid of you, you get rid of them, or they go under, any sort of excuse. And then it finds that you're not earning as much as you did because you had this outlier, or you worked your bag off to sort of, get your business back to where it was or where it should be going. And that's where I'm at this point in time. And there is reasons for, or I think I know why the April wasn't as busy, and there's a few reasons. One of them is I was taking on work or doing work for people that I didn't really enjoy working for, but that meant that there was a lot more work back in April. Also, the weather's been different this year. April is normally back to normal for me. March is normally getting back to normal. If I remember right, I am pretty confident that normally I would be doing my first cuts towards the end of February, and then when it comes to March will be pretty much back to normal. There'd still be a few little people dragging their feet, or the weather would be throwing a spanner in the works. And then when it comes to April, well, April's like, woof, back to normal, but it isn't. It's not been. It's been a delay in that as well. So I have to sort of think about is there a better way of looking at it, and is there a better way of sort of measuring success in the business? And I think there is. So I've not took as much money, as I said, a couple £100 down, but overall I am very happy with what I've took. And I think for one person to earn on his Todd, I think that's good. I'm really happy with it. But also I've been a lot happier earning that money. I've not had to, and the thing is, I've said this before, you'll never get a perfect customer base. It's impossible. You'll never get a perfect customer base. Even a perfect customer, every so often, they could throw a spanner in the works, or it might not be an ideal visit, or something might go wrong. So you'll never ever get a perfect customer base. But by and large, you can get, a really good customer base. To me, perfect is 10 out of 10. A really, really good customer base is like 9.9 out of 10. And I think we can all get that. I really do. And I think mine's close to it. So this month, even though I've took less, I have been happier, and I've also worked less. For most of April, I was rolling back home for about 3-4 o'clock. It's only to when it's got where I got busier towards the end of April that I was actually, getting back at 5-6 o'clock. So I'm very, very happy with that. And going forward, there's big changes that I want to make to myself and my business. That means that I want to have more time to myself, and I can't do that if I'm working 6-7 days a week. It's going to be a hard one for me to get past, because I'm not a workaholic, but I've always been brought up with a make hay while it shines mentality. But you can think like that, but you can't think like that, because, well, when are you going to enjoy the money that you make? Do you want to go out when it's a shit day, or when it's winter because you're working throughout the summer? Do I want to do that? And I ask myself that, do I want to wait till it's a nice day, a bad day to enjoy the weather because I won't be working? And I think to myself, no, I don't. I really don't. People who are work, they work their whole, work for a company, so they work and they do the job, and then they get the time off. They get the 2 weeks, 4 weeks a year off, and they work towards that. And then when they do, they can enjoy it, and they can pick that whenever they want and do that whenever they want. But myself, well, I haven't got that freedom, as in I have, but I'm not putting that on me. I'm actually making it where I've got that choice to do that, but I'm choosing to, not have the time when I want, not enjoy it when I want. So I think how to measure success, I think you need a few parameters, a few key points, and a few ways of measuring success. Like I said, for me, it all used to be numbers, it all used to be money. And it is true, that's probably the best sort of thingy sense of making, and it's a delicate line. I think money's going to be always the way. You're always going to have to look at it and go, right, I've earned this amount, I've spent this amount, I've not earned enough, but I've spent more than I earned. You can't get complacent. You can't think, well, I'm making a loss, but I'm enjoying it. And you see so many businesses, so many passion projects, cafes and knitting shops, where people, they take a hobby that they love and they enjoy, and they get a shop to sell all the wares, and then they don't make money because it's so niche, but they're happy doing it, so they put a bit more money and a bit more money in, a bit more of life savings in, and it ends up being where it just destroys them, and it ends up destroying the hobby. So you need to look at it in a practical sort of way. I've got hobbies, and I've always got the hobbies that I do. People have always said, like, well, why don't you do that? So I like cooking, but I wouldn't want to be a chef because it would destroy my love of cooking. I like making and fighting robots, but I wouldn't want to build and sell them all day because it just would dilute it. But the outlier is that I actually really enjoy my job. I love my gardening, I love my little gardening business, I love everything about it, and I don't mind doing it and don't mind working in it. That's the outlier for me. So like I said, guys, have a good day, but let me know how you measure success. Is it all about the money, or is it where you think about money / happiness? I think for me, going forward, probably next season, definitely I want to cut back on how much I do, because I've got a big project that I want to get done this year, and I want to have it where I can still earn a good chunk, but also have the time to enjoy that good chunk. Because like I said, that's what you find, that you're out all the time, you're never enjoying it. You never, you don't end up enjoying it. And my brother said this to me a bit back, and it was the best sort of advice. He says, you work really hard, you're working all the time, but if it was that, you just drop, you want to enjoy what you've earned. And I think we put things on our head where we'll go, right, we'll earn for 3 years, we'll graft for 3 years, and then we've got where we need to. But what we need to get might be the start of it, and we might be trapped into, working forever and we never enjoy it. So that's how I look at it. Have a good day guys. Keep on gardening.